Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Talking with Tina. Today I am with Paul Carlin. Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Good. Thank you so much for being on today. We are going to talk about, well, first of all, Paul, you are a loan officer
Mhm.
and you are with Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Yes.
And today you're going to talk to us about reverse mortgages. Is that correct?
Yep, that's my specialty. That's the thing I love talking about. I love doing them.
Good. All right. Well, so talk to me about what does a reverse mortgage do?
So a reverse mortgage is a financial tool that allows you to pull equity out of your home. So imagine that you've been putting money into your home every month because most people are getting these 20, 30-year loans. They're putting money into the bank. Some of it goes to into the home. Some of it goes to the bank for interest. The rest goes into the home. So you've been stacking cash in the walls and the foundation of your home, just like you do with your 401k or IRA or savings accounts or pension funds or whatever else you're putting money into. Heck, you could technically call Social Security the same thing. And so you're packing money into that. But the only way you could turn that money out or into cash flow or take that money out for most people is to sell the property. That's what most people are stuck with. So you look at a house that someone has a house that say it's, they bought it in 1960s or 70s or even 80s. Now it's free and clear. And it's worth $400,000. And they think to themselves, I put all this money into the home. What can it do for me? So a reverse mortgage allows you to be able to pull money out of the home to fund your lifestyle. And the key difference is if you go to get a mortgage at a regular bank, you're going to be paying a monthly payment. That's the biggest problem with it, is that you go to the bank and say, hey, I need a little extra money every month. And they say, sure, we'll give you a little extra every month as long as you pay us back that money plus interest.
Right.
Which defeats the cash flow purpose. So a reverse mortgage gives you the ability to pull money out of the house without having to make any payments. The bank puts a lien on the home, and once you move out, sell the home, or pass away, the bank gets paid back what they've lent you plus interest. And right now it's a little under 3%.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a great deal.
And so who's eligible for this program?
Okay, so that's a great question because most people don't understand it. You've got to be 62 years or older to be able to get a reverse mortgage.
Okay.
And at age 62, you have access to about 50% equity of the property. So let's say the property is worth $400,000. At age 62, you're going to get roughly a $200,000 line of credit. It's not a single lump sum, it's a line of credit. So you can set it up a line of credit and never touch it, only when you need to. Let's say the stock market crashes and you've been living off the proceeds of the stock market goes down, you say, you know what, I'm going to let the stock market recover and I will pull money out of the reverse mortgage in the meantime. And you can pull it $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $50,000, whatever you want to, is up to the line of credit. Now that line of credit grows. So the earlier you set up the reverse mortgage, the better off you are because the line of credit grows faster then the formula allows you to pull money out. So like I said, at age 62, you get about 50%. As you get older, you get access to more of the equity in the property. So if you're 75, you're going to get access to about 60 or 65% of the property. If you're 80, you're going to get access to 75% of the value of the home. And people ask, how come? Like, well, the reason is that because the bank is not collecting any money from you, they're adding the interest onto the loan. Oh, and by the way, if you set up the reverse mortgage and never use it, then you owe nothing to the bank at the end of the day. But if you set up the reverse mortgage and you pull money out, you're pulling money out and they're going to charge interest on that. That's what gets paid back at the end. They don't take the home from you. Most people assume that the bank makes a killing because they lent you $100,000, $200,000 on a house that's worth $4,000 and the bank makes a killing. No, they only get the interest they paid back. This is an FHA approved program. And there's a lot of consumer protections built into it. You can't really get screwed in this program.
So I'm sure a lot of people don't even know that.
No. In fact, before I can even get you to sign a piece of paper, you have to go to a counseling session by an independent third-party FHA approved counselor. And I have to give you a list of 10 counseling agencies, and I cannot tell you who my favorite is. I have to give you a list. You choose a counseling agency, you do the counseling, Then they give you a certificate. On that certificate number, there's a authorization code that allows me to start the reverse mortgage. Until you get someone that walks you through the steps and says, here's how it's going to work, here's what it doesn't do, I can't start. I can't do anything for you because they want you to be informed as much as possible. Yeah, and I can't tell you what agency to go to. In fact, FHA will call you and say, how did you choose this agency? Because they want to know if I have an inside guy that's telling you only the good stuff and doesn't tell you the things that come along with it. So there's a lot of protections built into it.
That's great. Great information. So where does it not fit? Who doesn't fit with a reverse mortgage?
I would say anybody who's going to be selling their house in the next 2 to 3 years or moving out, leaving that property, because it has to be a primary residence. So if you're moving out of that property and you're going to be selling it in the next 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't do the reverse mortgage because they're a little expensive. That's the biggest issue. The closing costs on reverse mortgages are kind of high because of the FHA mortgage insurance. It's not that we charge a lot of money. We usually don't charge anything as a lender, but the mortgage insurance is kind of high on them because FHA is assuming a big risk. Right. And here's where the risk comes in. FHA, once they give you that reverse mortgage, they cannot call it due. They can't take it away from you. They can't readjust the terms. So where a lot of people use a reverse mortgage and where it's becoming very popular is in 2 cases. One, people getting into retirement and saying, you know what? I've been refinancing every few years to get a better rate, but I still owe $150,000 on my $400,000 house, and I want to retire. How do I get rid of this mortgage payment? I don't have the $150 now, and I don't want to pay another $1,200 a month for the next 20 years. We can come in with a reverse mortgage, refinance the existing mortgage out, and make that mortgage payment go away. So you still have to pay your property taxes and homeowners insurance. Those payments do not go away.
Right.
So let's assume that is $200 a month for the property taxes, the homeowners. You still have to make those payments, but you don't make a mortgage payment anymore. Most people get those, as one thing, but they're really 2 separate things. They just were blended together in the mortgage world for convenience sake.
Wow.
Other place people use reverse mortgages a lot is where we do a reverse mortgage for purchase. So I'll give you one I just did. They lived in this house for 30 years, raised all their kids. It was a big piece of land, 3 stories, and they're now in their 70s and don't want to go up and down stairs. They don't want to cut all that lawn and trim all those trees. So they sold their house that was now worth $550,000. They bought a much smaller single-story place for about $275,000. And we, as a reverse mortgage company, we brought in about 60% of the purchase. So they bought a house, and they only, because of their age, again, the age formula, the older you get, the more we'll give you as a reverse mortgage. They only had to bring in 40% of the home down to buy it. They didn't have to buy it straight with cash.
Wow.
So you could buy a house with a reverse mortgage. Most people don't understand that, and I'm trying to teach real estate agents that.
So you have a program that I think a lot of people would really benefit from if they knew all of the details. Like you said, a lot of people just don't know the details. And
I work in the senior community all the time, talking with people about how these work. The other thing that the senior community likes a lot is a lot of people aren't coming into nursing homes as much. They're saying that they want to age at home, especially because of COVID, but they don't have a lot of cash flow to pay for the home health care, but they have a lot of money tied up in their home. Their idea was to sell their home, move into the assisted living center, and then pay the assisted living from the proceeds and sell the home. Well, now we can use a reverse mortgage to give them the cash flow they need for the home health care that they want. And then they're afraid to go to the nursing homes. That's been a big part of my business lately.
Yeah. Wow. Well, this is great. All right, Paul, we're just about out of time. So I will make sure I put your contact information in the notes so that everybody knows how to get in touch with you. And thank you for spending your 15 so minutes with me today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Tina.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching Talking with Tina today. So thank you again and have a great week.